So this is a teacher Haris, but you are seeing my YouTube channel and Accounting with Sir Haris. We are going to solve a question of AS accounting, and the topic is partnership. AS accounting, and the topic is partnership accounts. I'm expecting partnership accounts in October, November 25, variant 22. Inshallah, you will get the same type of question in your exam from partnership, but it might be from partnership incomplete records. So let's start this question and see that in AS accounting 9706, we have this question which has come in May, June 22, partnership accounts. May, June 22. It is our variant, obviously, right? Let's move it. So first of all, admin expenses are, Karen and Lee are in partnership, sharing profit and losses in the ratio of, Karen and Lee are in partnership, sharing profit and losses in the ratio of 2:3, 2/5 and 3/5 respectively. The following balances were available at 28th February. Admin expenses are given 6020. Bank interest charges are given, that is 180. Bank overdraft, which is the current liability, 5910. Capital, Karen and Lee is given carriage inward, which will be added in purchases. Current account balances are given. One is debit and one is credit. Drawings are given. Insurance, which is an expense. Opening inventory. Loan from Lee, 10,000. Non-current assets, it's a non-current liability. Non-current assets are given with depreciation. Provision for doubtful debts. Purchases. Returns, 2200 is sales return, subtracted from sales. 3930 is purchase return, subtracted from purchases. Revenue is given, trade payable, trade receivable, suspense account is given. So it means definitely there are some errors because of which there is a difference between the debit and credit side of the trial balance, which is written on the debit side with the name suspense account. So we'll go for the entries, and obviously when we will prepare the income statement and we'll go with all the stuff, the suspense account will automatically be resolved. It automatically will become nil. So on 28th February 2022, inventory had been valued at cost 21220, that is the closing inventory. This figure included some damaged items which had cost 1320 and had a sales value of 2480. The damaged items could be repaired at a cost of 1300. Remember this, that inventory is valued at cost or NRV, whichever is less. Inventory is valued at cost or NRV, whichever is less. So the inventory value which is given is 21220, that's fine. But this figure includes a damaged item which had cost 1320 but had a sales value of 2480 after repair cost of 1300. So the NRV, net realizable value of this inventory, is 2480 minus 1300. Why, sir? Because we are getting 2480 by the sale, because of the sale of damaged inventory, but we have to go for the repair cost. Then we can get 2480. So the NRV is market value minus cost to sell. Market value, selling price, minus cost to sell, which is repair cost. So 2480 minus 1300, that is 1180. So the cost of the inventory which has been damaged, that is 1320, whereas its NRV is 1180. So we should record it at cost or NRV, whichever is less. So what we are going to do, this is already included. So what we are going to do, 21220 will subtract the cost because that is high, that is the wrong amount, and we will add 1180, which is the NR. Yes, you can go for the difference, but the better way is this way, that 21220 closing inventory has a cost of damage item costing 13, I think this is 1320, if I'm not wrong. Let me correct it. No, 1300 years, I think so. And the value of that inventory is NRV is 1180. So now we can go 21220 minus 1300, and we will add the correct value, which is lower of cost or NRV, whichever is less, 1180. So the correct value of inventory is 21,000.
21100.
Yeah. Yes, 21100. So we value the inventory through this method, which is 21100, and we value it. 1320 hi tha. I was wrong actually. So let me correct it. I have to subtract 21220 minus 1320 plus 1180. So let me do it. No problem. 21220 minus 1320 plus 1180. So what is the answer now? That is
21080.
21080. So that is the correct value of the closing inventory. Let's move forward. In January, an error had been made recording return inward 410. This amount had been credited to the return outward account. So that is the proper statement of rectification of error, which is very easy. Let's go and pass the entries. In January, an error had been made recording return inward 410. This amount had been credited to return outward account. So we are supposed to debit return inward. So let's go for the entry first. I am supposed to debit return inward with 410. But instead of debiting return inward, I have credited return outward by 410. Now, first of all, correct the mistake. Return outward is wrongly credited. It will be debited with 410. Return inward is not recorded yet. It will be recorded on the same side with the same amount 410, and suspense is going to be credited with the double amount or total amount of 820. So this entry will rectify the error. This entry will also compensate the suspense account, which creates the difference between the trial balance. Let's see. The suspense account difference was 820, and now the suspense is going to be credited by 820, so it is automatically adjusted. But you have to, return outward is debited by 410. You have to subtract 410 from return outward, because purchase return credit होती हैं, जब वो debit होगी तो कम होगी, and you have to add 410 in return inward in the amount given above. So in return inward, here this is return inward, you will add 410, and from return outward 3930 you will subtract 410, and then you will go for the correct amounts and you will pass the all the stuff whatever is required. So let's prepare the income statement, which is the requirement of the question, or you can say statement of profit and loss, one and the same thing. So nowadays we use statement of profit and loss. You can go for it, no problem. So we can start the statement of profit and loss with revenue. Let's see what is the amount of revenue given. Revenue is given here 229250. Revenue is given 229. Here I'm right, 229250 minus return inward. And the amount of return inward is whatever the amount is, 2200 plus 410. 2200 plus 410. So this is 2610. And I have to subtract sales return from this. 2610. I will get the amount of net sales, which you can calculate and tell me. I can also do that. 229250 minus
226640.
Yeah, 226640 is the right answer. Now subtract less cost of sales. Cost of sales includes, you know that, opening inventory, add purchases, and then you use to subtract less return outward. The amount is given in the question, which needs some adjustment. We'll do that. And add carrying inward. Let's see carrying inward is given in the question or not. So opening inventory, let's see, opening inventory at 1st March is 8250. Carrying inward is given 3880. But let me write first opening inventory 8250. Add purchases. Let's find out where are the purchases are given. Oh, where are the purchases? Here are they. Purchases 151440. So let me write here 151440. Let's return outward. As we know that return outward needs some adjustment. That is 3930. 3930. We will subtract minus 410. So let me calculate 3930 minus 410. That is 3520. I can write here also. Yes. Like this, 3930 minus 410. So that is which will be subtracted 3520. Okay. Then I have to add carriage inward. Add. It is given in the question, so that's why I'm going to add carriage inward. And then I'm going to subtract, which is less closing inventory. Okay, you can't use abbreviation. I'm using it. You can't do that. You have to go for the whole word, which is very important. Labeling is important. So carriage inward is given in the question, that is 3880. So I will write here 3880. And then I will subtract the closing inventory, which is also with us. We have calculated that the correct amount 21080 according to the cost or NRV, whichever is less. So we'll get the cost of sales and we will subtract the cost of sales from this to find
138970.
138970. Now we can find the gross profit. We know that other income is added in gross profit, which might not be there. Less expenses will find the profit. So what is the gross profit? You can label it with the full word gross profit. I am just writing it GP.
87670.
87670.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, May, June 22 income statement you have to prepare. So let's go for it. And for that particular purpose, yes, 87670. Ashir?
Yes, sir.
767. Okay, that's fine. 138. I'll do the calculation again. Yeah, okay. Now I have to subtract the expenses. But having said this, I have to look that provision for doubtful debt is given 260, and I didn't find any income given in the question. So let's see, might be provision for doubtful debt might be supposed to be decreased. So let's see. First, provision for doubtful debt should be increased to 310. Okay. So it means there is no other income which is supposed to be recorded. So less expenses. So in the first instance, I will go with admin expenses, which is given in the question. So I will write here admin expenses. It is given right at the top of the question. Here it is. That is 6020. There is no additional information regarding admin expenses. So I can write it right here separately, 6020. Then I'm going to write the expense of the insurance. So let's see what insurance amount is given. So insurance is basically given in the question, and the amount of insurance is 7740. Okay, amount of insurance is 7740, and it is written that insurance include 1410 paid for the 3 months ended 30th April. Remember this, that our financial year ends on 28th February. So 3 months ended 30th April means February, March, April. So it means that 1410, 2 months of 1410, because it contains 3 months, that is prepaid. So how I'm going to calculate it? It's very simple. 1410 multiplied by 2/3, because it includes the insurance of February, March, and April. So February comes in our period. So February is fine, right? But other 2 months, March and April, should not be part of our 1410 multiplied by 2 divided by 3, that is going to be 940. So 940 is supposed to be subtracted from the amount of the insurance, which is 7740 minus 940. What is the amount? 7740 minus 940.
6800.
6200.
6800.
Okay, sorry, 6800. So we are done with that. I'll check it again. Insurance is how much? 7740 minus 940, so 6800. Now let's move on to bank interest charges, that is 180. And another thing which is given in the question, that is Bank interest charges, let me write it down first. What is the amount? Sorry, 180. Okay. So I will write here bank interest charges, that is going to be 180. So next thing which I am supposed to write, when charges spelling as wrong, doesn't matter. That is interest on loan from Lee. So I have to write it as an expense because loan from a partner will be recorded under the heading of expenses, but it will come on the credit side of current account. So loan from Lee is 10,000 and the examiner has asked us the loan from Lee had arranged on 1st November 21. It was agreed that Lee should be entitled to interest at 6% per annum on the loan. No entries have been made for interest on the loan. You have not paid any interest up till now. So how much interest you need to pay in November, December, January, February? Because on February, our financial year will end. It is written on the top of the question also. Trial balance at 28 February 2022. Okay. So loan is 10,000 into 0.06% multiplied by November, December, January, February, 4 divided by 12. So that is going to be 200. So 200 is going to be the interest on loan. So I will write here 200. If you want to show the calculation, you can show that also. 10,000 multiplied by 6% multiplied by 4/12. You will get it. Next is increase in the provision for doubtful debts. Yeah, increase in allowance for doubtful debts. Whatever you want to write, you can. So let's see. It is written that provision for doubtful debts should be increased to how much? Should be increased to 310. If you see in the question, the provision for doubtful debts is given 260. Now it has been told to us that it should be increased to 310. So how much we need to increase? 50. 260, 310 minus 260 becomes 50. So increase in provision is going to be 50, which is very easy, which will be recorded under the heading of expenses. Now depreciation is 20% using reducing balance method. So we can calculate the depreciation. 1,60,000 minus 56,000 because it is reducing balance method into 20%. No asset has been sold. One zero four triple zero into 20%. So that is going to be 20,800. So I will write here depreciation on non-current asset 1,04,000 because it's a diminishing balance method at the rate of 20%. So the answer is going to be how much? 20,800. Now let's move on to the next part. Is there any other expense which is supposed to be written in the entry? I didn't find any other expense which is given in the question. Yeah, bank overdraft is a current liability. It will not be recorded over here. Inventory we have also already adjusted, or error we have already adjusted. Insurance we have taken, loan interest, provision for doubtful debt and non-current asset depreciation have already been charged. So we have prepared the income statement May, June 22, and now we have to prepare the current account of Lee, right? And then there is a change also because prepare the current account of Lee for what? There is no adjustment of current account though. Okay, the simple current account we have to prepare. That's fine. Okay, let's move on. Total expenses. What is the total expenses? We'll subtract the total expenses and we'll find the profit for the year. Please calculate the total expenses for me. And then we'll find the profit for the year. So I will write here total expenses and here is going to be the profit for the year.
34050.
34050 and subtracted, you will get the profit for the year. Yani 87670 minus 3405.
53620.
Sorry, 5.
3620.
No. 87670 minus 34050. That is 53620. You have told me the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I have to prepare the current account of Lee. So let's prepare the current account of Lee. Okay, they have asked us to prepare the current account of Lee only. So simple is this, that in Lee account, there is no interest on capital, there is no interest on drawing, there is no salary also, right? Only we have to prepare the current account. There is a profit share only. So let's see the current account. The Lee has a balance in the current account, which is 1880 debit. It's a loss. So I will write here, brought down 1880. It's a debit balance. Now profit share is going to be credited. We have a profit share. How much profit is going to be shared to Lee? 53620 into 3 by 5. 53620 into 3 by 5. That is 32172. So let me write here profit share of Lee 32172. Then here comes interest on loan. Yes, that will come on the credit side of the current part, that partner's current account who has given the loan. So interest on loan is basically 200. That will also be credited. Here comes interest on drawing and drawings. There is no interest on drawing currently, but drawings are obviously given in the question. Drawings of Lee is 19,900. So I will write here 19,900. Now I will go for the total. Obviously, credit side is heavier, and we can find a positive balance of Lee now because of the profit which is going to be shared to him. So this will come 32372 minus the debit side. What is the carry down?
10592.
10592. Okay. So now I will write it on the brought down here, which is 10592. So we prepare the current account without interest on capital, without interest on drawing, without salaries. Let's see. Income statement we have prepared. Working is even prepared the current account of Lee. 4 marks are there only. The partners have been considering making a more detailed partnership agreement to include the following terms. Now they are basically going for a partnership agreement to include the following terms. Profit will remain the same. Interest to be charged on all drawings at 10%. Karen is to receive a salary of 8,400 per annum. And profit loss would continue to be shared in the ratio of Karen Lee 2 by 3, 2:3 respectively, and 2 by 5 and 3 by 5. Calculate the increase or decrease in Lee's current account balance at 28 February 2022, assuming the new agreement had been in use from 1st March 2021. Okay, now I have to prepare the current account of Lee again. Let's see. Because he is basically examiner is asked to prepare the current account of only Lee. So again, so we are preparing the current account of Lee again for the second time, but with other adjustments. Brought down will remain the same. That is 1880. Drawings will remain the same, obviously. That is going to be 19,900. But there is interest on drawing also. So I have to write interest on drawing, which is, if you just see the question, interest on drawing is 10%. Obviously, current may be charged hoga, इसमें भी charge होगा, right? So interest on drawing is going to be 1990, 10% of the drawings. Here comes on the credit side, here comes the profit share. So I will write here profit share. Then here comes the salary. Salary is not given to him. That is given to Karen. So here comes interest on capital. It is also not there. Then here comes interest on loan. That is there. That is going to be 200. It is going to remain the same because there is no change in that. Okay. So then why it is given in the question? My God. Because we have to prepare the appropriation account again in order to find the profit share of Lee, which is not yet with us. How come, sir? Yes. Because the profit for the year is 53620. See, I will go for appropriation account, small profit appropriation account. Profit will remain the same. That is 5 3620. I will add interest on drawing in this, right? And interest on drawing for both Karen and Lee. Let's calculate it. For Karen, the interest on drawing is 10%, and the Karen drawings are, we have to see the Karen drawings. That is, Karen drawings are 17,500. So 10% of 17,500 is 1750, and Lee drawings are 19,900. So that is 199. Let's go for the total of the interest on drawing, which is supposed to be added in the 1750 plus 1990. That is 3740. This is going to be add interest on drawing. The profit will increase because of this addition in the interest on drawing. So 3753620 plus 37, that is 57360. Now I can write 57 here, 57360. Less salaries, less interest on capital. There is no interest on capital in the question. So salary to Karen we have, that is going to be 8400, and that will also be subtracted from the profit we have. Let's see what is the amount of salary. Again, I might not write it correctly. Yes, 8400. And then the profit is supposed to be distributed between Karen and Lee in the same ratio, which is 2/5 and 3/5. So 57360 minus 8400, that is 48960. So the profit shared is, which is supposed to be shared, 48960 is the profit supposed to be shared between the partners. Okay. Now 48960, and the ratio between them is how much? 2:3. So 3 matlab 3/5 will go towards the into 3 divided by 5. 29376 is the profit share of Lee, which will be written on the credit side of his current account. 29376. So that is why it is a very, very technical question. Why, sir? Because profit share will not be calculated by just 53620 into 3 divided by 5. That is not the correct answer. Why? Because interest on drawing is supposed to be added, salary will be subtracted, and then the profit will be distributed between the two partners according to 2:3. Now we'll go for the total of the credit side, and we will get the carried down balance of the current account, which is required in the question. So the total of the credit side is heavier. I will write the total on the credit side, which is 29576. I will write here also 29576. What is the carried down? It is supposed to be written on the brought down also. 29576. 29576 minus
5806.
19,900. 5806. यही है 5806, and that will become the brought down of the next year or month, 5806. Now he is saying that what is the increase and decrease in the current account? So there is going to be a decrease in the lease current account. How much? Decrease of 10,10592 minus 5806, 4786. So there is a decrease in the current account of Lee with an amount of 4086. So this is how we are done with this question, and definitely it looks as if this question basically belongs to the A levels. That is why it was not that simple. We have prepared the income statement, we have prepared the current account first, then again we have to prepare the current account with the partnership agreement. But for that, you have to prepare a small appropriation account so that you can find the profit share of Lee, which is supposed to be given now after the adjustment. After the additional information says Karen and Lee had also considered operating as a limited company. Explain one advantage of operating as a partnership rather than a limited company, right? So one advantage of operating as a partnership rather than a limited company. So company has a perpetual succession of a common seal. Company has more advantage basically as a partnership. So control will not be there. In partnership, we have more control. Partners have control over the business. But in company, we don't have proper control because there are so many people who are a part of the partnership business. So there is a problem of that control, and decision making will become slow because partners can sit together and make a decision. But in company, because there are more partners, so decision making will be a problem. Explain two advantages of operating as a limited company rather than a partnership. So it is a limited liability. Shareholders have limited liability uh, to the extent of the shares held by them. Then we have a large scale business, more capital, more market share. ठीक है जी. And company has a perpetual succession and a common seal. Company can be sued under its own name, right? Then company has its own legal entity. Investors have more confidence because the company is basically formed under Companies Act, and it has, has acknowledged some legal requirements. After that, there is a formation of a company, right? Rather than a partnership, obviously, in partnership, there can be conflict between partners, right? But in a company, all the directors are the people who engaged in the company, all that takes the responsibility of the company work, and all the things are settled in the annual general meeting by with a voting right by the shareholders, and then the decision used to be made. Any other example you can give, Ajay? Any other thing? Easy, eh? Advantage of limited company.
सर बर्डन कम हो जाता है पार्टनर से.
So you are a business student and you don't know the advantage of limited company. You can't give me any other example. You have studied this all in business, that what are the advantage of sole trader, partnership, and company, and disadvantage also.
यस सर.
बताओ.
लिखा तो
फिर ये कि in company you can't go for any kind of drawings. In partnership you can go for drawings, right?
यस सर. सेपरेट लीगल आइडेंटिटी
Company,
होती है ओनर्स की और कंपनी की.
हाँ, company can pay dividends to its shareholders, right? But the whole dividend is not supposed to be given to the shareholders. Some part of the dividend is retained by the company for future contingencies, for future growth of the business. So company is a large scale business, right? And it usually issue its shares to the general public. Means everybody can participate. In a private limited company, obviously friends and relatives, but in a public limited company, anybody can purchase the shares in a general public, and the shares are quoted in the stock exchange also. But for a partnership, it cannot be. Company is an incorporated business, whereas partnership is unincorporated business, right? There are some more things, but we have running short of time. So that's it. Thank you very much. I hope you got the point. This is the question we have done, which has come in May, June 22. I just want to see that if there is any other part remaining. So we can have this type of question, October, November, variant 22. But remember this, that